What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I just saw Alfonso Cuarón's newest film out on Netflix right now, and that would be Roma. Let's talk about it. Roma is about a middle-class family that lives in Mexico City in the 1970s, but it's mainly about their maid in this movie. Now, Alfonso Cuarón is one of my favorite directors of all time. Children of Men is a masterpiece in my opinion. Children of Men is in my top 10 films of all time. I absolutely love that film. So automatically I was super excited to see Roma because I love Alfonso Cuarón. And then the movie started playing at some film festivals, and then I got even more excited. This movie has won countless awards at all types of film festivals. It has gotten so much buzz. The word masterpiece has been thrown around crazy with this movie. So going into it, I had just really high expectations. And now that I have seen Roma, oh my god, this movie, wow, this movie got me. It hit all kinds of emotions that haven't been hit all year by any movie. This movie is the most well-crafted film so far this year. Alfonso Cuarón proves once again that he is a master of his craft. Every frame in this movie, every single shot has a meaning behind it. This movie is beautifully crafted. It is brilliantly executed. Now, I do have a problem with Roma, and that would just mainly be the pacing in the first half. This movie starts off slow. This movie challenges you, but in kind of a good way. I was challenged by this movie, but that was the intent of Alfonso Cuarón. He doesn't spoon feed you here. He doesn't hold your hand through this movie. He challenges his audience with this movie, and a lot of people aren't going to like this movie. This movie is the definition of a art house film. This is pure art. This movie was not made for money. This movie was made for pure passion of his craft. So this movie isn't for everybody. But if you have respect for a well-crafted movie and you like just a beautifully made movie, this movie is a masterpiece to you. This is a technical masterpiece. Again, I do have a problem with the pacing in the first half, but that second hour, oh my god, Alfonso Cuarón hits you. I was holding back tears, especially at that hour and 30-minute mark. Oh my god. This movie goes in ways that you probably aren't expecting. And he really hits you emotionally. And Roma is one of the most emotional and just gut-wrenching films I have seen all year. No, it is the most emotional and gut-wrenching film I've seen all year. Roma is easily one of my favorite films of the year. The only thing I'm going to have a hard time with this film is it's not that rewatchable. I really don't see myself going back and watching this again. Now, this is his most personal film ever. This is actually based on his life from what I understand. I think he dedicated this movie to his maid because I think he grew up in Mexico City in the 1970s. He himself did the cinematography for this movie, which is his first time doing the cinematography himself. And my god, the cinematography is on a level of a Kubrick movie. The cinematography in this movie is mind-blowingly gorgeous. Again, every shot in this movie has a purpose. Every single shot in this movie has a purpose, has an intent. He has crafted this film with pure passion, and it really shows that. Just the wide shots in this movie, long takes. The camera follows our characters with pure emotion. The final scene in this movie, well, the second to final scene in this movie, it takes place on a beach. It is just some of the most raw, powerful emotion that has been put on screen in the past 10 years. I found myself holding back tears, not just because of how emotional that scene was, just because of the filmmaking that was being put on display. It was beautiful to watch, in all honesty. And besides the first half just being a bit too slow, this movie is perfect. Now, the first half to this movie isn't bad. I'm not saying that. The first half to this movie is fantastic. It's so well done, just like the second half. It's just the first half moved at a pace to where I didn't really understand what was going on. Like, there's not really even a story. But the first half was, again, breathtaking. It was so well made. And I was blown away by all of that. But the first half is pretty much just setting up the second half. The first half, it sets up storylines, and it pays off in the second half. So that's pretty much the only problem I have with the movie. But I'm not saying the first half is bad or anything. If it was up to me, this movie would sweep the Oscars. This is the most well-made film so far this year, and it is super well directed, obviously. Alfonso Cuarón should win Best Director, and this movie should definitely win Best Picture if it was up to me. But because this movie is in a foreign language, I don't know what the rules are there. So I don't even know if this can get nominated for Best Picture. But if it can, this should. And it should win. And the performance by the main actress in the movie, she plays the maid in the movie. I'm not even going to try and pronounce her name because I'm going to say it wrong. But this is her first time ever in a movie performing. And my God, she blew me away, especially when the camera is on her for a long time. It makes it harder for her to act and like keep that real emotion going for a long time. But there are scenes in this movie where the camera is on her for like 4 minutes at a time. No cuts, no nothing. The same scene, the camera doesn't move from her. It just follows her around. And it's hard to act for 4 minutes, just like no cuts or anything. Just show real, raw emotion. And she does a phenomenal job. And Alfonso Cuarón has a true talent for filmmaking, and he really shows it with this movie. It is beautiful, it's breathtaking, and I loved it. Besides a couple things in the movie that I would just personally maybe take a couple things out. If you watch this movie, put down your phone for 2.5 hours. No, it's 2 hours and like 10 minutes. I'm not sure. But just put down your phone for 2 hours or so. Do not do anything. Just pay attention to this movie. It demands your full attention. If you do not give it your full attention, you won't get that much out of this movie. But if you put your full soul into this movie for 2.5 hours, you will come out just mind blown. He puts you through an experience, and it is a very emotional, gut-wrenching, and it's so raw and so realistic. It's just so good. Go check out Roma if you haven't already. It's on Netflix. It's free, so why not? Put down what you're doing. Go spend 2.5 hours right now and go watch it. Give it your full attention or you won't like it. Trust me. If you do not give it your full attention, you will not like this movie. Roma is the most well-crafted film of the year. It will definitely be in my top 10 films at the end of the year. And I'm going to give it an A. And the only reason I'm giving it an A is because, again, I found it a bit challenging. And I found the pacing just to be a bit slow in the first half. But I feel like this movie will only get better the more and more I watch it. I will appreciate it more and more, and my grade can only go up higher to that A+. And I feel like after I watch this again and really digest it, I feel like this would be an A+. But as of right now, on a first time watch, I'm going to be giving Roma an A. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Seriously, go check out this movie and his other movies. Alfonso Cuarón is one of my favorite directors, so definitely go check out all of his movies. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.